I woke up 1 a.m. this morning. Yesterday, I woke up 2 a.m. That's been my weekend routine ever since pandemic began. Let me give you a snapshot of what I've been doing ever since 1 a.m. I had a meeting about hydroponics, water-based vegetable growing system, discussing with the DLR, German Aerospace Center friends. What they did was they developed this great technology that we human beings, when we get a field trip on the moon, and we can have a salad bowl. But it will take some time until it's going to happen. So we discussed that. Why don't we use that technology to feed children in Africa? That was my first meeting. Second meeting. In Africa, there are many people who need medical help, so there's a medical relief. I discussed with my friends, in order to solve fundamental issues, we need to raise more medical professionals in Africa. That was my second meeting. Third meeting, I moved to Japan virtually, and we discussed about the leadership development with the Japanese students. Last meeting, there was a global competency development forum in South Korea that I had to remotely manage. So that's all happened this morning. That's been happening ever since the pandemic. And I am a psychologist by practice. So I'm here to share with you what happened to my life as a psychologist. But the beginning, all the meetings, and probably you're guessing, okay, what is he doing? What is his career? Yes, I'm a psychologist. But before the pandemic, there's one word that described me: agoraphobic. I was a person who loved to stay home and didn't want to go out. But as we experienced the pandemic, think about it, what happened. Your life, beginning of the pandemic, we all quarantined, and we heard stories about people got sick and everything. And I was thinking that even if my body is quarantined, our bodies were quarantined, our mind shouldn't be quarantined. So I was thinking, is there anything that I can contribute to this global challenge? And is there anything that's happening in the world that I didn't know? Because it was shocking to me. So I found the organization called the United Nations. We all heard about it. And I researched. So I heard the WHO, and I found many entities I never knew. And I contacted them. Hey, hello guys. My name is John Park. I'm a psychologist. Is there anything that I can join you guys or contribute to help you guys to make this world better? Sure enough, I got 0 responses after a while. So I was thinking that, maybe this is not the way that I can blur the line between my own box and this world. So I was thinking, why don't I establish an organization that will address something that the people need, and I can support people, and I can reach out to people. So I founded this organization, Pillar Foundation. But before I did that, I had to communicate with my wife. So before I'll do all kinds of great things, and I hope she will understand this. So I told her, you know what? This organization, 3 keywords: human rights, sustainability, and leadership. And she was like, what are you talking about? That's not you. That's the point. That's not me. But that's who I want to be. And she's been playing great role as a devil's advocate. And so she gave me detailed, constructive criticism of the list of it. But still, I managed to persuade her and let her get involved to do what I wanted to do. And next person that I wanted to include or recruit was my son. 3rd grade, elementary. So I was talking with him that, I'll be busy. Your daddy will be busy because I will do this humanitarian work, sustainability, and leadership. And he was like, is that anything related to the reptiles, lizard? So he was a reptile lover. So I was thinking, yeah, of course, yeah, that reptiles, and if we're gonna go visit in these African countries and South America, and there are many reptiles. Last year, I had a chance to visit Mexico with my son. And then there's a moment, and my son was calling me, hey, Daddy, come over here. This is what you're talking about, right? And he was looking at the big iguana. Can we bring one? And I thought, but I don't think so. Yeah, but didn't you mention about reptile in your organization? And yeah, but not like that. And there will be scary people, border control folks. And I'm not sure if they're gonna find this iguana in my suitcase. Probably it's not a good idea. So I learned that it is important to include your close people to be your cheerleaders at the same time, and you don't want to make false promises. So after that, I began to call. So I got the two people on my side, and I started calling my friends. Hey, how are you doing, Garrett? I heard that you recently got promotion and you hit the 6-figure. Great success, and let's celebrate your success by offering this opportunity. And he goes, what opportunity? I will begin this organization to help other people. And he goes, really? You're helping other people? Yeah, and I need to register and I need some money. Can you help me a little bit? And surprisingly, he said, yes. Great, thank you, brother. And next person, hey, Nathan. So that's what I was doing. And I was really moved. I'm very moved by all these friends. I contacted everybody and emailed and, hey, how are you doing? Are you doing all right going through this pandemic? I hope you and your families are healthy and well. And here is the initiation that I want to begin, and called Pillar Foundation, so we can support this world all together. Contacted hundreds of people, emailed, and surprisingly, my friends and my former students and reply back to me, hi, Dr. Park, I'm a mechanical engineer. You know, what am I supposed to do in your organization? Great, I will find a room for you, a mechanical engineer, great. Biomedical engineering, all welcome. So that's the beginning of this foundation. And through this foundation and reaching out to people, I learned about what's happening in this world. Not only this impact from the virus, but there are many disasters been happening somewhere in the world, and also many challenges. I learned that many people are being suffering by this flood everywhere in the world, Africa, even Europe, and even in America. So I got to learn about what's happening in this world. Next, I learned that there are many children out there. They also need support and help. And I've been communicating with these people, and I try to offer something that I have, which is a psychology. Me as an educational psychologist, and I researched about emotions and motivation and self-regulation, emotional regulation. And I was thinking that maybe if they were going through these challenges, it's very traumatic events, just like we all have traumatic events. So I wrote a short proposal to these organizations out there, and hey, I think maybe I can support you guys emotionally, where we can talk about it, what you experienced. We can find some solutions. Before that, what we need is your resiliency. You need to stay poised, and you have to develop your equanimity so that you can deal with all these challenges, issues, your community, your country, maybe your personal life. So surprisingly, that my message with my honest support to these people responded very well. And I've been invited by many different countries. During the pandemic, virtually I visited more than 20 countries. Remember that my first meeting in Ghana, there is an organization called YALI, Young African Leaders Initiation. All the young people got together, tried to make their countries better. Kenya, Tanzania, Mozambique, Malawi, South Africa, Congo, even Sierra Leone. Before that, I had no idea. Africa is Africa. And every single time when I had a meeting with them, my Google map is up there. So where are you from? Okay, here, what city and what's the problem? So I got to learn a lot of countries and people from there and Asian countries. Kazakhstan, Mongolia, Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, several other more countries. Again, I was agoraphobic. My life was in my room and my computer writing a research paper. But because I wanted to blur the line, and I found myself that little bit more than who I was. So right now, going through getting over the pandemic, I'm still a psychologist. And I run a mushroom farm in Ghana, actually, to feed children, because mushroom is easy to grow. And with that mushroom, I try to bake bread. So we dry up those mushrooms and we bake bread and cookies for children. So I became a baker. I've been studying about baking. I didn't even know where an oven was in my room, in my house. But right now, I'm always thinking about how can I bake the tasty cookies. So there is an interesting story. So we grow mushrooms based on the wood dust substrate. There are a lot of wood cuttings in Africa. And instead of burning all the sawdust, and we collect them all and we pack it up and we planted fungi into it and we grow mushroom. So in the beginning, I had a big vision. I discussed with my friends there in Ghana and Kumasi County, and we got a whole bunch of the wood dust from the company. It's a win-win situation. So we can prevent the air pollution because they had to burn it. And one day, I got a call from my friend, Andrews, that, hey, Dr. Park, that sawdust all gone. And I was like, what do you mean? We got 2 trucks of the sawdust yesterday. It was there, but are you saying it's all gone? And he goes, yes, it's all gone. Okay, let's figure it out and where it is. And it turned out to be local children. They found that, wow, this is a perfect cushion for our backyard soccer field. So they brought them all and just spread it out, and they built a renovated soccer field there. So my answer was, you know what, Andrews? Let's get some soccer balls for them. So we got some soccer balls, and we provided. And I'm doing the humanitarian engineering work, hydroponics system, and the medical relief. So I'm carefully, still it's very foreign to me that I'm doing all of this, because it happened like last 2 to 3 years. Me as a sustainable development leader. But I'm here to share, to encourage you that once you start to blurring the line and look around, and you will find a new yourself. And that new yourself will bring you to the different world, and which is beautiful. Which called, I would say, is the treasures in the hidden in the field. That's you. So I'm still learning and still adjusting myself because my identity has been changed, communicating with all these different cultures and different people and try to understand. But the key is your heart. If you're truthful, even if sometimes it's hard to understand their language, they understand. We can communicate through your truthfulness. So going through this pandemic was a very, very interesting journey to me. And now I'm ready to go physically visiting my friends. I made a lot of friends from different countries. So this is me with my new friends. And I want to encourage you to find your line to blur and find new yourself. Thank you for listening.